power in vulnerability. Hey, hi, I'm Angel. Thanks for stopping by. I am in the bottom half of northern New Mexico. The bottom half of the top northern half, something like that. Anyway, I'm on my way to Colorado to do some work. And I thank you for stopping by my channel. I was thinking about vulnerability a lot lately. I have been thinking about vulnerability a lot lately. And was just now thinking about it again. And how we lose power in a way when we stand up powerfully, like the instant. And I want to just clarify, neither is better than the other from my viewpoint. They both have their place, power and vulnerability. And much like the yin and yang of life, they tend to fold into each other and out of each other. So when you get too powerful, you start to lose touch with what you have power over, and that power starts to dwindle. And when you give up power and face your own vulnerability and kind of come from that, there's something very powerful about that, because it's like no one can hurt you. You're already raw. You're already, willing to die, whatever it is. That's an extreme version of vulnerability, perhaps, but I think there's an element of that in all vulnerability. When you're willing to be vulnerable, instead of trying to show your power. Now, when I hear myself say that, I hesitate, because I think being willing to own your power is interestingly kind of a type of vulnerability, and I guess that's kind of what I'm getting at. And it does circle back around, like to eat its own tail. But a lot of people are not willing to own their own power, in that they don't want to be in charge or take responsibility for their own life. And in doing that, they are keeping themselves safe, so unwilling to be vulnerable. Ooh, that bird had something to speak. Unwilling to be vulnerable on some level, thinking that makes them safer, and yet it's denying themselves of this huge amount of power, personal power, that they could be tapping into. And that's really what I'm not articulating very well. And maybe you could help me out in the comments if you've got some thoughts, some words, some sentences that get at the feeling that I'm trying to get at. And I know I'm not alone in realizing this, and I have heard other people talk about it, and even write about. I think Brene Brown writes about it quite a bit. That's in fact, I know she does, and speaks about it. I've heard her online quite a bit. Anyway, point is, as I am willing to own myself more, own my own personal power, one aspect of that is that it makes me very vulnerable and raw. Part of this project with this YouTube video, or channel rather, is sharing myself, flawed and all, and that's very vulnerable. I'm not hiding anything really. Of course, there's always more to be discovered and uncovered, so I'm not trying to say that I've shown all my cards. I'm just saying I'm not ashamed of who I am, and I'm not trying to come off as perfect or polished. I am very much showing my raw, imperfect, unedited, for the most part, version of my experiences and my thoughts and my words here. And I want to do that. I purposefully am doing that because of the power I find in that vulnerability. By owning myself in all my imperfections, I get to create my own reality. I get to create, help create the future in a deliberate way. The thing is, we all are always helping to create the future, but sometimes more deliberately or less deliberately than others. So owning myself, being vulnerable, gives me great power to fully live my life, fully enjoy it without fear of being imperfect, without fear of making mistakes, without fear of being hurt. You know, I'm gonna get hurt. I've been hurt and I'll be hurt again, and that's okay. That's what owning my vulnerability and my power and being willing to be vulnerable, I guess, brings to me. So if you have any thoughts on that, I really would love to hear them. I am still kind of figuring this out, clearly, and so while I've come a long way, I know I have a long way to go, and I welcome your input. So please tell me if you've got any great thoughts on the subject. And until next time, I wish you peace, prosperity. Look at that, might rain up there. Isn't that exciting? That's very exciting to me as a New Mexican who's been living in a lot of drought. Anyway, peace, prosperity, positivity, and playfulness.